Get your gullet ready because we've got a heaping pile of food trivia coming your way that'll make Thanksgiving look like an appetizer. This is Trivia with Buds. What? And welcome to a mini episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Buds. I'm a trivia host in Southern California, and thank you so much for checking out this show. We put out full episodes of the show every single Tuesday. If you're looking for something longer, usually I have a guest or two, and we battle in some topics that they're good at. And every Thursday, we put out these mini episodes. Today's topic of food was picked by Patreon subscriber Earl Clark. So thanks for the idea, Earl. It was making me hungry just writing the questions around lunchtime. If you have an idea for a future mini episode of the show, hit me up on social media at Ryan Buds and let me know what you want to be quizzed on. Or if you want it to happen a lot sooner, join me over on Patreon. Speaking of Patreon, big thanks to all my Patreon subscribers for donating to me for another month. We're about halfway to our monthly goal of $150 a month. And if I reach that, I'll be putting out an additional mini episode just for Patreon subscribers. So go donate and make that happen if you want to hear that in your ears. There are 90 other episodes of this show you can check out. They're all named by the topics that we do trivia about on the episode. So go back and check out some of these random themed episodes with topics like mini episode 7, Game of Thrones trivia. Maybe you're a big Game of Thrones nerd and you are the mother of dragons and you want to prove it to everybody. Go check out mini episode 7. Check out trivia episode 53 with American history trivia. My wife is a big Civil War buff, so she would love that episode. And episode 37, we do some Super Mario trivia with my friend Emilio Rosal, great commercial and voiceover actor around Los Angeles. It's a really, really fun one, and we do some movie trivia with Kurt Long as well. So 2 great actors on that episode, episode 37. Go back and give it a listen. We're going to dive into the trivia right now, so grab a Snickers and try to stay unhungry. This is 15 questions on food. Here we go. All right, here we go, everybody. 15 questions on food as picked by Patreon subscriber Earl Clark. Question number 1 for food. What was Gordon Ramsay's first cooking-related show on Fox? Question number 1. What was Gordon Ramsay's first cooking-related show on Fox? Question number 2. A pitaya is known by what other more exciting name? A pitaya is known by what other more exciting name? Question number 3. What fast food joint had a burger called the Arch Deluxe? Question number 3. What fast food joint had a burger called the Arch Deluxe? Question number 4. What cooking term was also the name of one of the Golden Girls? Question number 4. What cooking term was also the name of one of the Golden Girls? Question number 5. What's the phrase for cutting vegetables into thin strips? Question number 5. What's the phrase for cutting vegetables into thin strips? Question number 6. What company makes the best-selling home standing mixer? Question number 6. What company makes the best-selling home standing mixer? Question number 7. What 4-letter brand word is most associated with jarring and home-preserving foods? Question number 7. What 4-letter brand word is most associated with jarring and home-preserving foods? Question number 8. What nationality is the famous gibberish-speaking chef on The Muppets? Question number 8. What nationality is the famous gibberish-speaking chef on The Muppets? Question number 9. What U.S. state is the largest lobster producer? Question number 9. What U.S. state is the largest lobster producer? Question number 10. Who became super famous for his Korean taco truck, Kogi? Question number 10. Who became super famous for his Korean taco truck, Kogi? Question number 11. What is the word for a widespread culinary technique in which an ingredient is topped with a browned crust, often using breadcrumbs, grated cheese, egg, and/or butter? Question number 11, what is the word for a widespread culinary technique in which an ingredient is topped with a browned crust, often using breadcrumbs, grated cheese, egg, and or butter? Question number 12, who played Julia Child in 2009's Julia and Julia? Question number 12, who played Julia Child in 2009's Julia and Julia? Question number 13, what food comes in Tigerella, Campari, and Jubilee varieties? Question number 13, what food comes in Tigerella, Campari, and Jubilee varieties? Question number 14. What candy bar was advertised as the Great American Chocolate Bar? Question number 14. What candy bar was advertised as the Great American Chocolate Bar? And question number 15. What beef snack can also be a car tool? Question 15. What beef snack can also be a car tool? Those are your 15 food questions. Hope I didn't make you too hungry. We're going to tell a quick food story about me and my family, and then we're going to dive into the answers to those 15 questions on food. All right. I may have told this story in the podcast way back when we first started a couple years ago at some point. I feel like I have, but I'm going to tell it again because it's such a good one. My Uncle Jim is a guy who does not spend a lot of money when he goes out. He doesn't like to spend a lot of money, so he goes to a lot of buffets. My Uncle Jim was at a buffet, an all-you-can-eat buffet, a couple of years back, maybe about 10 years ago now, and he was infatuated with this soup, and it was a cream soup, and he kept eating bowl after bowl of the soup, and he ended up finishing the entire crock of this soup at this buffet. So he went up to one of the servers and he said, hey, are you guys going to put out some more of that soup? That was the best soup I ever had. And they said, we don't serve soup. That was gravy. So my Uncle Jim ate a giant crock of gravy and immediately started sweating, and then ate mashed potatoes for the next month to try and even out that gravy intake. But that is my quick family story on food. It's one of my favorite ones to tell. My Uncle Jim ate a crock of gravy at a buffet in Missouri. So tell that one as your own. Feel free to steal that story. That is my quick food story. Now we're going to dive into those answers on those 15 questions on food right now. All right, here we go. Your answers to the 15 questions on food on today's very special mini episode picked by Earl Clark. Question number 1, what was Gordon Ramsay's first cooking-related show on Fox? The answer to that question was Hell's Kitchen. Way back in 2005, Fox introduced American audiences to Gordon Ramsay with Hell's Kitchen, and I think that's still on, as far as I know. Question number 2, a pitaya is known by what other more exciting name? This would be perfect if you like Game of Thrones, like we mentioned earlier. If you were the mother of dragons, it's a dragon fruit. Dragon fruit. Question 3, what fast food joint had a burger called the Arch Deluxe? That was, of course, McDonald's. Mid-90s, it had bacon on it. I remember it fondly. The Arch Deluxe. Question number 4. What was the cooking term that was also the name of one of the Golden Girls? It was not the Betty White, although that's probably some kind of cooking term. The Golden Girls term name I was looking for was Blanche. Blanche, of course, to blanch something. Question number 5. What's the phrase for cutting vegetables into thin strips? Julienne. Julienne those carrots up. Slice them up into thin strips. Julienne. Question number 6, what company makes the best-selling home-standing mixer? That's KitchenAid. Every lady I know in the world owns a KitchenAid mixer if they like to cook. Question number 7, what 4-letter brand word is most associated with jarring and home-preserving foods? That is a ball jar, B-A-L-L, not to be confused with a bell jar, which is a giant bell-shaped jar like the one that sits over the rose in Beauty and the Beast. I think that's a bell jar. But I'm looking for ball, B-A-L-L, for home-preserving foods. Question number 8, what nationality is the famous gibberish-speaking chef on The Muppets? That is the Swedish Chef. The Swedish Chef. Question number 9, what U.S. state is the largest lobster producer? That is Maine. Maine was the answer. I think I've had lobster from Maine, or at least I tell people I have. Question number 10, who became super famous for his Korean taco truck Kogi, K-O-G-I? That was Roy Choi. Roy Choi. I've never eaten at that truck, but I did see the movie Chef, and he appeared in it with Jon Favreau. Great movie. Question number 11, what is the word for a widespread culinary technique in which an ingredient is topped with a brown crust, often using breadcrumbs, grated cheese, egg, and or butter? The phrase I was looking for was gratin, like potatoes au gratin, G-R-A-T-I-N, gratin. Question number 12, who played Julia Child in 2009's Julia and Julia? That was Meryl Streep. What can't she do? Who can't she play? I'm waiting for the Donald Trump movie where Meryl Streep steps into the shoes of our current president. Question number 13, what food comes in Tigerella, Campari, and Jubilee varieties? That's tomatoes. Tomatoes was the answer. Number 13, tomatoes. Question 14, what candy bar was advertised as the Great American Chocolate Bar? If you think way back, this is one of the oldest ones, Hershey's. The Hershey's Chocolate Bar, known as the Great American Chocolate Bar. Question number 15, your last question, what beef snack can also be a car tool? That was a Slim Jim. When's the last time you snapped into a Slim Jim? My good friend Macho Man Randy Savage would tell you to do so. And those were your answers to the 15 questions on food. How'd you do? Hope you had a good time testing yourself on these food-related questions. Thanks again to Earl Clark for the idea. Hit me up on social media at Ryan Buds and tell me what your score was out of 15. I always like to hear that. Also, if you like stuff, support this show by becoming a patron over at patreon.com/trivia with Buds. All the funds raised there will go into making Trivia with Buds bigger and better in both the live show format and the recorded podcast format. I hope you are excited for 9 days away from today, everybody, the Disney Marvel Star Wars event at Last Name Brewing in Upland, California. We got about 45 tickets sold, so there's still about half available, but I think they're going to go really quick at the door if people don't grab them beforehand. So grab your tickets while you can. They're $10 online or $12 at the door. We'll be doing 3 hours of trivia while you're drinking some of the best craft beer in all of Southern California. Last Name Brewing, 7 to 10 p.m., April 21st. Go to triviawithbuds.com. Grab your tickets while you can. This Tuesday, we're back with a full-length episode, and I believe it's going to be about the Avengers and the Fast and the Furious movies. It's going to be a big blockbuster week for the podcast. It'll be a really fun episode with two guests named Denise and John, who are players over at a place in Sunland, California called Link and Hops. And I think you're going to love that episode. Next Thursday, we'll be diving into a mini episode on stores at the mall. Mall stores, if you like shopping, if you like to shop till you drop. If you had that game, which I think was called Shop Till You Drop, it was like a board game. It came with a credit card in the 90s. Maybe you want to listen to that episode. It's coming next Thursday, and it's going to have 15 questions on stores you'd find at the mall. Thanks for listening and telling a friend about this show. And as always, thanks for rating, reviewing, and subscribing. We're close to, I think, 90 reviews, so I'm going to give the next 5 listeners who leave me a review a pop culture art square of their choice. All you have to do is email me, ryanbuds@gmail.com. Tell me you left the review and what your name was on the review, and I will give you a choice of 3 or 5 different pop culture art squares, and I will mail those to you just for supporting the review portion of the show. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you this Tuesday for more trivia fun. Cheers.